Goodbye!
John!
What?
I'm Christine.
I'm John.
And today we are doing our top 5 movies of 2020.
Are there that many good movies that came out this year?
Okay, we're doing that intro one more time. It's a year lacking in movies. We watched maybe 52 last year. How many did you watch this year?
Like less than 30? Like 27
I
or something?
32. Rip the
Rip.
movies. Each of us have our top 5 movies of 2020, 4 superlatives, and 3 honorable mentions. Let's get into it. 2020 movie that was supposed to come out that we were very excited for that didn't come out, and now we're really disappointed. We thought it was going to be good. John, what is yours?
Oh, this is an easy one for me. This is one of the only easy categories. It's Dune.
Oh.
It's Dune. Oh my god. It was getting really close. I'm like, do I risk it? Like, get a full hazmat suit to like go see Dune? Because like, how do you see Dune but not in theaters? Like, I have to go see Dune. I'm glad it was delayed so I can see it in theaters, but it's also a year away.
I mean, it looks interesting. I've watched the old one with you, and it was...
I love the old one. It's not great, but I love it, and I love David Lynch.
My
2020 movie that was delayed that we
wanted to see, we thought was going to be really good, but it didn't come out.
Award.
Black Widow.
Yeah.
I was so excited for this movie. I hope it's really good.
I think it would.
I would think it would be on this list. My surprisingly good movie of 2020 was Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey looked so bad before it came out.
It didn't look
I can't
great.
stress how low my expectations were, but buried under those low expectations, I had this like tiny flame of hope that it would be good, and it was so good.
It was really fun.
I felt great watching it. It had character development, and like the villain was great.
Oh yeah,
what a great
Ewan,
villain! What a great
Obi-Wan.
team. They struck this nice balance between Harley Quinn and like the new birds.
I always think of that sandwich.
Oh yeah,
in the
that
movie.
looked so good.
It's like a grilled cheese or something.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you really get in Jersey and New York all the time. Like a tail of ham, egg, and cheese was something
That's
that we'd
like-
always get. I don't know if hers was tail of egg, ham, and cheese.
I don't
It
know.
was-
The movie's so long ago that I don't remember a whole lot from it, but I remember
I
that
know.
sandwich, and I'm
It
like, that
was-
looks really good.
What a great scene, that sandwich. The trailers, it made it look like the Harley Quinn was going to be kind of over the top in a cheesy, annoying way. It didn't feel like that at all when you actually watched the movie.
I liked her a lot more in this
Yeah.
than Suicide Squad. I mean, there's not much to like at all from Suicide Squad.
I mean, like, in Suicide Squad, she was fine, because
She was
Suicide Squad,
fine.
it was the movie that was like a hot mess. In
Yeah.
this, she really shines, and everyone else shines.
Yeah, it gives
was really
all of
fun.
them time to shine.
I had a great time. It was fucking good. I want to rewatch it, because again, it was one of the 3 movies we saw. Okay, we actually saw 4 movies, because we also saw Just Mercy in theaters.
Oh, yeah.
We saw 4 movies in theaters this year, and one of them was Birds of Prey.
My most surprisingly good movie of 2020 was Volcano Man.
Volcanic Production.
Eurovision. I
Right.
remember seeing the trailer for this movie. I'm like, oh no. It's another Will Ferrell movie where he's a loud, obnoxious man baby.
I'm very
which
done with that.
I enjoyed it at the beginning with like Anchorman, Talladega Nights.
I never did.
Elf. But it got a little old, and it's like, okay, I'm done with this. It's been going on for like forever now. He's making, I don't really care
Step
anymore.
Brothers.
And then this looked like the same thing. But then my friends got me into Eurovision.
Oh, you're talking about the actual Eurovision?
The actual Eurovision.
I was like, what about me telling you that people
No.
watched it and really liked it?
My friends sent me some
Yeah.
videos of the now canceled 2020 Eurovision, and I fell in love with Eurovision. I'm watching all these videos. I loved Iceland's and Russia's entries for this year. I listened to them on repeat for like a month. I saw this trailer. I'm like,
And
wait a minute.
You said it looked bad.
It did look bad.
Yeah,
and then
I was like, but Katie and Natasha watched it, and they both loved it, so we have to watch it.
And I was like so into Eurovision. I'm like, well, I have to watch it now. Like, even if it's bad, and it's not bad. It's amazing. It has.
it's not amazing.
It is amazing.
It's really fun.
I loved it. The music is fantastic.
The music is fantastic. The music is what makes it great.
It's I expected like a cynical, like Will Ferrell laughing at, look at all the funny European music stuff, but it has such respect and reverence for Eurovision. It honors like the stars of Eurovision. It got me even more into Eurovision, and I'm excited. I don't know. I loved the movie.
I did really love all of the music scenes.
The music
all the
was great.
songs were really great.
I think Husavik should be nominated for Best Song at the
Demi
Oscars.
Lovato was randomly in it for 5 seconds, and that was great.
I loved Eurovision.
Best out of nowhere good movie. A lot of movies just came out of the woodwork randomly this year because there was no promotion for movies.
And they're just
because
thrown
they
onto
weren't going to
streaming.
Yeah, we're like, oh, look at this. It's got good reviews. Let's watch it.
Yeah. Mine was Volcano Man.
Oh my god. This did not come that much out of nowhere, did it?
Protector Man. It totally came out of nowhere.
I mean, it didn't feel like it came out of nowhere.
Oh my god, it totally came out of nowhere.
My best out of nowhere movie was actually The Happiest Season, which I only saw promoted the day that it came out. It's a holiday film on Hulu. It's about this lesbian couple. One of the women is played by Kristen Stewart. The other one is played by that woman who plays the nanny in that scary movie, that trailer that played over and over again with those two kids in a mansion.
Oh, I do remember
that.
that.
What is her name? She's also in Black Mirror. Anyway, Kristen Stewart hates Christmas because her parents died around that time. The woman whose name I can't remember is like, come home for Christmas with me. I love Christmas. Come stay with me and my family. And on their way, she finds out that her girlfriend actually has never even told her parents that she's gay. And her girlfriend wants her to pretend that they're just roommates. I wasn't expecting it at all. I just turned it on. It was on Hulu. And I was like, this is great. It's like Kristen Stewart's best role I've ever seen her in. I loved it. The funniest film that we watched in 2020, John.
Easy. Borat. Subsequent movie film.
Oh, that one wasn't out loud funny for me.
That was so out loud funny.
I didn't out loud laugh.
The debutante scene.
My favorite scene was when they did the dance and the period dance. That was nasty, but I did get a chuckle out of it. At first, I was really happy because it was they were having a father-daughter dance moment, and I loved that aspect.
That actress, I can't remember, Maria something.
She is excellent.
Excellent.
What an excellent
She stole the
improver.
show. It was great to have another Borat. That kind of came out of nowhere too. It's just by the way, there's another Borat film that's coming in a few weeks.
That did come out of nowhere. It just dropped from the sky. I was like, what do you mean?
So on point. It was a very 2020 movie.
Yeah, and I guess also one of the reasons it dropped out of the sky is because when they're filming it, they don't want people to know that they're filming a Borat movie because they'll anticipate those antics and not get great reactions out.
There's things that almost seem like they must have been set up or faked, but then you read interviews with Sacha Baron Cohen and with the production, and it's this was real. Those dudes that he stayed with. He stayed with for a week or something. He had to act through all of that. I can't believe. I don't think it was as good as the first one because of how shocking and new the first one was.
So shocking. It's just funny because of the shock value in a lot of the beginning parts.
Yeah, but the fact there was another one made and it didn't disappoint. Because so many comedy sequels are
overall better than the first one.
It did have a better story.
It had more of a
story. An actual story to it.
Yeah.
It was shocking that it's oh my god, this isn't just good, it's really funny.
It had heartwarming moments, which is really what made it a movie for me.
Yeah.
It's oh wow, they're playing actual characters and it's working. Yeah. My funniest movie of 2020, nothing stood out as the funniest movie. So I had two movies that I found funny and I picked The Happiest Season as my funniest movie of 2020.
Was that the same?
Yeah, that's the same one I was just talking about with Kristen Stewart and the other actress I can't remember the name of. I laughed so much watching that movie. Yeah, it has to get the award.
Our last superlative is our most underrated movie.
Our most underrated movie of 2020.
Volcano Man. Volcanic Protector Man. I saw so many people.
Was it really underrated?
No,
a lot of people loved it.
But a lot of people didn't love it, and a lot of people didn't even give it a chance because again, it's a Will Ferrell movie, and people were tired of the whole Will Ferrell thing. So a lot of people saying I'm not even going to watch that, or oh god, this looks terrible.
That's what you said the first time I mentioned it.
Yeah, I know, and it's what other people said too. And you need to give it a.
Oh my god.
You need to give it a chance. It's so good. It has so much heart. I loved it.
It does have great music. We keep saying that.
Give it a chance, please. Give Eurovision a chance.
What do you think my most underrated is?
Eurovision?
No, it's Birds of Prey! So many people are hating on Birds of Prey. I'm not even going to see it.
Same thing.
It was excellent. Your expectations were here and it blew them away. I was very upset about how many people were I'm not even gonna watch that. Look at our poster, it's a piece of shit. Birds of Prey is up there with Shazam for me. Their top two movies that they've done.
Yeah.
Remember they were even trying to change the title because Birds of Prey wasn't.
They did change it.
Yeah, they changed it to Harley Quinn.
Birds of Prey.
Which they should have started out with because people I don't know. Nobody knows Birds of Prey in the mainstream. I think Birds of Prey sounds better, but I think just not having what is Birds of Prey? Is it a documentary about nature? That's what people could think. When I first heard Birds of Prey, I was like, what? This year we only extended the honorable mention section to 3 just because we saw a lot of like good movies.
Pretty good movies.
But not great enough to make the top 5.
It's like that kind of near the back end of the list. There's a ton of movies that are just kind of floating around.
But like that were really good.
Yeah, they're all good.
But
they're
like not our favorites.
Yeah. I wanted to do a quick honorable mention to Sound of Metal. It's a movie about a drummer. He's a metal drummer and he's going deaf. And the reason I wanted to give this a shout out is the sound design in this movie was excellent in that. I mean, it did such an excellent...
Was it as good as Eurovision? Okay, sorry. Sound of Metal.
Sound of Metal...
It's a very serious film.
Yeah, it is. It's very serious. It's a drama. It's not anything like Eurovision. But I wanted to give it a shout out.
It wasn't as good as Eurovision.
Well, I wanted to give it a shout out because of the sound design and the way that it used its sound to emulate this drummer going deaf and also like the hearing aids that he gets. I think that was really well done. It almost made you feel really claustrophobic and really afraid as he was for losing this thing that's so integral to not only what he does for a living but his life just in general. It just showed me a side of like, I guess, deafness and loss of hearing that I hadn't seen and hadn't experienced. And I think the movie did a really good job at opening this world to me.
My third honorable mention here is Emma, the last movie we saw in theaters. It was just really beautifully shot and decorated, and everyone's costumes were beautiful. The actress who plays the Queen's Gambit is Emma, and she's excellent in this role.
My second honorable mention, Enola Holmes. It is one of 3 whimsical old-timey British movies we saw this year.
Oh, we did see a lot.
Yeah, I really liked Enola Holmes. I didn't really know what to expect from it.
It was great.
It was just kind of another one that just kind of popped out of nowhere. I love Henry Cavill as Sherlock.
Millie Bobby Brown.
I really liked her in this. I've only really seen her in Stranger Things, but she plays kind of like a very almost like monotonish. Like
You've seen her in your other fave,
well,
Godzilla.
but none of the humans really have.
She didn't have a leading role.
Yeah, well, nobody has really a leading role in that.
She
besides
has a
Godzilla.
leading role in this.
Yeah,
she's great.
and she really surprised me with her acting in this. It was really great. I loved how it was filmed, breaking the fourth wall, her talking to the camera.
Yeah. It almost had a Guy Ritchie feel, but like good. He's gone a little overboard. Like it had the perfect balance of like Guy Ritchie direction where he would do a lot of creative. I don't know if it was a woman or a man who directed this, but they would do a lot of creative stuff with the camera. My next honorable mention is Invisible Man, which is one that came out right after the lockdown. It's one of the first ones to be released on streaming. You could pay $20 and watch it. Elizabeth Moss is excellent. Like she can carry anything. Her ability to emote so many different things with just like a look is phenomenal. So I knew that this movie was going to be at very least good. It was a story about an abusive relationship and it was scary.
There's a lot of great scenes. They just like linger on a shot. That's like
and you'll see like
a
the
wide
tiniest
shot.
thing.
Yeah, you're looking like, what is he even here at all? You're like glued to the screen.
And it was the type of scary that I can handle because I have an idea of what's happening. You know, it's not like a ghost or something.
They handled the invisibleness of the Invisible Man in a really cool way.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I liked it too.
This is my third and final honorable mention. Goes to Color Out of Space, which is a movie I just watched recently starring Nicolas Cage.
Oh, that very weird one.
Yeah, it's based off of an H.P. Lovecraft kind of short story, also called The Color Out of Space. It's about a family that lives kind of out in the woods, a little rural. A meteorite falls into their front yard and starts changing not only the environment around them, but them themselves, and people start going crazy.
It's like an Annihilation vibe.
It's very kind of Annihilation vibe if you saw that movie. Some really creepy, nasty stuff happens. Things get spliced together. It gets really trippy. I love the visuals. Nicolas Cage goes full Nicolas Cage in this. I loved it. I love these kind of movies like this and Annihilation. I have a lot of fun with it.
I did not
I watched this by myself out here like late at night. I have my headphones on. I'm like looking around like, am I good?
My last honorable mention is one that was really good, but for me it just didn't make my top 5, and that's Soul.
Oh.
Yeah, the new Pixar film. It was great, and I didn't know what to expect at all. I had not seen even one trailer. I didn't know what it was going to look like. It has a very interesting look to it. You know, Pixar does this Pixar thing, and it's very unique. It gave me a lot of feelings. I honestly think that maybe had I not had a puppy that I was worried about during watching it, that I would have placed higher. It was really, really well done. It just didn't make my top 5. It was really good. Those are our honorable mentions. Now we're moving on to the list. Top 5 movies of 2020. 5. Coming in at 5 for me was Enola Holmes, the Netflix film starring Millie Bobby Brown. I loved this. Helena Bonham Carter plays her mother. She's fantastic. Like, what a fun role for her. She's not like there a lot, but the moments she is there, it's really fun. They have a great relationship. I loved how the Sherlock Holmes brothers played into this film. Like, they were very kind of background, and Enola really shined. They break the fourth wall a lot. It's very clever in its dialogue and the way it's shot and told. I enjoyed it a lot. I wish I could have seen it in a theater, honestly, and I wish I didn't see the trailer beforehand. I know I talk about this a lot. I hate watching trailers because it spoils like the best parts of films. It's just more fun watching a film when you've never seen any of these shots. It hits you harder, you're more excited, and you overall enjoy whatever it was if it was in the film and you didn't see it beforehand. This had the best trailer ever. Like, I can't describe how much I loved the trailer. I couldn't stop watching it. It just like popped up in my Twitter feed and I was like, what is this? I thought it was a show and I was so excited. It's set up to be a series of movies. I think there's going to be at least 3.
I hope there's at least another.
It was a bundle of fun. Watch it.
My number 5 is another whimsical old-timey British movie. It's Emma.
Nice! Oh, yeah, Emma made your list.
I'm surprised that Emma made my list higher than yours because you were much more, I think when we left that movie, you liked it a lot more.
You know what? It might have faded with time a little bit because we saw it so long ago.
It just stuck with me the entire time. It's like, I can't shake it. That movie was really good. It's very witty and clever. Yes. I love the. Do you remember it's like the old lady and then
the one that she's mean to?
Yeah, that she's mean to.
Oh yeah.
I loved She's so funny. Bill Nighy as well with like
he's great. He's like my favorite part of it.
He's putting the things in their room because of the draft.
Oh yeah, and he's like closed in.
They got like they're all closed. There's a lot of little funny.
That was very fun.
There's a lot of funny moments. Yeah, I really liked it.
And I was shipping her and the guy that she like argues with all the time.
Yeah, it was a really fun movie.
Coming in at 4.
Mank. It's Mank.
Mank, the Netflix reach for an Oscar this year.
It's one way to put it. I loved it.
It's okay.
I prepared myself by watching
Citizen Kane.
I had not seen Citizen Kane. It's one of those few like movies that's like it's important to film in film history, but I just had never seen it. So I watched it. I really liked it. Mank I liked just as much. David Fincher went all in on trying to make this as authentic, not only to how Citizen Kane looked, but just black and white movies in general.
It was just stylistically very Citizen Kane. They were shot it like that. The sound was like that.
Yeah, the sound was like that. The acting. There's you'll see other
acting. Yeah, it's very fascinating to compare the acting to the acting style today. It's just it's very different. People are more like I want to say bolder in terms of their acting. Almost.
I think it's more theatric how it used to be. Yeah, and now it's more grounded.
Yeah, that's what I mean by bolder. They pop more with whatever they're doing.
Yeah, almost like more like operatic. Yeah. You'll see some black and white stuff that's made today that's like doesn't really feel like it's just almost feel like they just put a filter over it and called it a day.
Yeah, this is
like one other movie that I can think that didn't do that was really authentic was The Lighthouse last year, and this kind of reminded me in a way differently.
Lighthouse was almost channeling an older.
Even older.
Yeah, but 1940 is
in the same way it felt authentic though to the time it was trying to recreate. Yeah. So I really appreciate Mank for that. It was beautiful to look at. Gary Oldman killed it. All the actors in it killed it.
They did. Lily Collins was like
she was really great.
And Amanda Seyfried was great. I've never seen her act so hard. Like she was just not Amanda Seyfried to me, which is really cool to see.
The score I really liked too. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross were on fire.
Oh my God, Charles Dance looks so
old. Dance.
He looks like the Crypt Keeper. I don't know what movie that famous line was like. You look like the Crypt Keeper's in, but that's stuck in my head every time I saw him. I was like the Crypt Keeper.
I did really like that first. That's probably my favorite scene. Charles Dance plays.
He plays
William Randolph Hearst.
Yeah.
And that first scene in Hearst's like big banquet room where they're all talking and the dialogue. That's the script in this.
Great. I mean, that wasn't the first time we saw him.
Witty.
We saw him on set.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
But it's that first time in his house where like it really showed off the script. You can see the love that was put into making this movie.
As someone with a degree in film, I was forced to watch this and write papers on it. So I've studied Citizen Kane. I didn't rewatch it, which I kind of almost wish I did, even though I remember a lot of it because I wrote papers on different scenes. But I hated Citizen Kane. And I think through the lens of 2020, I probably have more of an appreciation for it just because of the themes and what it's talking about. It's very much mirrors some of of the stuff that we've been going through in society last year. It's 2021 now.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Mank more than Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane is about this man being corrupted by power and wealth, and after a while you're just like, I don't fucking care about you. You're so annoying. I hate you. You're a terrible person. Just be done with this. It's very long. But it was very fascinating to actually go and watch this through the point of view of the screenwriter and see why he wrote the things he wrote and see where he was inspired. Like, if you watch Citizen Kane, you will see. Like, I watched that movie 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, and, like, I could pick out, like, oh, that is the scream in the scene that I wrote a paper about. Like, that's where it came from. That's what it was inspired from. And seeing his relationship with Amanda Seyfried's character was actually really fascinating because she's a very quick-witted woman, and you just see the struggles of putting out this film and people seeing themselves in it and their reactions to it. I read that the movie was controversial because William H. Hearst was this, like, big tycoon, but I didn't understand the weight of that pressure until I watched this film. It's also a really interesting character study on the writer, you know, because he seems like he's going to be very unlikable, and it seems like that's paralleling Citizen Kane, and then you realize that he's not that type of person at all, and just being in this business has really messed him up.
This movie was really clever in how it constructed its story to not only mirror how Citizen Kane was, but also to, like you said, to kind of show you all these inspirations throughout Mank's life.
Yeah, and it's all subtle. It's almost like a Hamilton type feel at the end of the story, because Lin-Manuel Miranda, one of the reasons why I want to tell Alexander Hamilton's story is, like, he's the founding father. That story never got to be told, and he had a big part. And Herman Mankiewicz wrote Citizen Kane, which is widely regarded as the best film of all time, which is one of the reasons why I hate it so much, because it's, like, so obnoxious that it has that title still. Some of the huge reasons why it's regarded that way is, like, the advancements in cinematography that were made, and, like, the way it was shot, and the storytelling, because it's told in, like, different flashbacks and such. But on top of that, it's also, like, how hard it was to get made, and the fact that it did get made, and it made such a statement about this really powerful person that wasn't shining a great light on him. It also had this really fascinating look on, like, politics and how they were playing into Hollywood, how they kind of had Hollywood in the palm of their hand because they were funding them so hard.
Yeah, I really like that.
I really like that aspect of it, because, I don't know, it kind of shows the evolution of Hollywood and why things were the way they were and why this was hard to make. Again, like, a shine light on that. Sorry, I'm talking about this a lot because I don't have it on any of my lists. So Herman wrote the script for Citizen Kane, but I honestly thought it was Orson Welles.
There's disputed claims that, like, Orson wrote his own version that was, like, just as long, and then they argued between, but the other people are saying that there isn't a whole lot of validity to that, or it can't be confirmed.
Validated. Yeah, but, like, you see through this film how much it was inspired by his experiences and memories and his job and who he worked with and everything. I love that clip at the end where he's, like, accepting his Academy Award. He originally signed a contract that said he didn't need to be credited. Once he realized, like, this is the best thing he's ever written, he was like, I want credit.
I do wish the film focused a little bit more on that, too. Yeah. I mean, it's already a long film, so if they wanted to include that, they'd have to cut something else. I don't know what they do. But I would have liked to see a little bit more. I really liked the guy who played Orson Welles. I forget his name, but he did a really good job.
Coming in at number 4 for me is none other than Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey was real good. You should go see it. The action sequences were shot beautifully. They really, like, ramp you up and don't let you down, like some action sequences that we've recently watched.
3 is one of the movies I was really looking forward to this year. I'm glad it didn't disappoint. I kind of felt like I had to drag you along to watch this one. It's First Cow.
Oh.
What a wonderful movie. I loved First Cow.
First Cow.
The trailer entranced me from the beginning. It's just,
I remember, like, we were in the theater and you're like, oh, I want to watch that. And I was like, really? That?
Oh, yeah, the cow. And
yeah, the trailer's kind of like, what is that about?
It's a story of friendship of these two men who are going out to kind of seek their fortune in the American West back when...
In the 1800s.
Yeah, they're just beginning to settle the West. They're really living in hardly anything. They have, like, their little shacks. The set design was really great. Everything felt, same as costumes, was so authentic. They find out that the first cow to come over to the West is right near them. It's a cow.
It's the first cow out west.
It's the first cow out west.
And
that's all I'll say. And it's a big deal.
It's a very quiet, slow-moving
a very slow film.
Kind of sad, too.
And it is sad. It's a sad movie, but there's happy moments as well. It was very comforting. It was a very comforting movie for the most part.
For John.
If you like slower movies, I would really recommend First Cow. I loved it. It's being, like, wrapped in a warm blanket.
For you, it's like, ooh. My number 3 is none other than The Happiest Season. You know, there were a couple more that I loved, and they're all up here. It's like now one of my favorite Christmas movies. I've got Love Actually now, The Happiest Season, and
The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Holiday. The Holiday.
2, the runner-up. Can you guess what it is?
Can you guess what mine is?
No.
My number 2 is The Personal History of David Copperfield. We just watched our third whimsical British
time comedy.
I really, really enjoyed this, and despite having a puppy that I was worried about, I was really into it. The characters were so whimsical, so well played. Dev Patel plays the lead. He plays David Copperfield. It takes place in 1850s. Yeah, it's based on a Charles Dickens novel. Like, I didn't realize David Copperfield was the name of a famous Charles Dickens novel. It's just not one of the ones you hear about, you know?
Both thinking of the magician.
We both thought it was about a magician. We both thought Dev Patel was going to be a magician.
When is he going to do magic?
It's a story about a writer. When we were watching it, I was like, this feels like he's going to be a writer, not a magician. It's put together in a very creative, cool way. Hugh Laurie is in it, playing like my favorite role I've ever seen Hugh Laurie in. Tilda Swinton is fantastic in it. They all come together to create like these very character-y characters that are so fun to watch.
The Doctor Who guy, what's his name?
Oh yeah,
Peter Capaldi.
Peter Capaldi is in it.
Gwendolyn
Christie is in it. There's so many big names in it. The guy who plays his evil stepfather.
I can't remember
who he is, but I've seen him before. Like, everyone is a face that you're gonna be like, ah! It was very funny. It made you feel things. I love a writer's story, honestly. Like, kind of reminded me of Little Women in that way, where like, not the story per se, but like the journey and the lead characters' fun, whimsical likability and the way they interact.
The whimsical nature was almost like a Big Fish or James and the Giant Peach.
It felt like I was watching a story. First, we thought it was like gonna be a real biography or something.
Well, I thought
it was fictionalized biography of David Copperfield.
It's probably the guy that did Veep and Death of Stalin. So I was imagining a bit more of like a drier, maybe a little more cynical black comedy.
It wasn't.
Which is not.
It's light and fun.
It's very light.
And quirky, sort of funny. Oh, it's really good. It has a lot of the Charles Dickens themes, going from like wealthy to poor and dealing with the class system. David Copperfield is constantly trying to be seen as a gentleman. He wants to be a writer, and it's a fun, wonderful journey that made me very happy. All right, you're number 2.
Can you guess?
I want to say Soul might be number 1. Tell me.
Volcano.
Oh God, that was my next guess.
Volcanic Protector Man.
Play the other song.
Woo! Oh yeah, ding dong. I want to hear it. Yeah. Ding dong.
My favorite is the one that they sing live at Eurovision, though.
The only thing I guess I haven't mentioned from this is a quick shout out to Pierce Brosnan, who plays Will Ferrell's dad. Pierce Brosnan's bad Icelandic accent was so entertaining, and I loved it. I don't know, it always sounded like he was about to laugh when he was talking, and I thought it was so funny. I love this movie.
Clearly.
And
it won like 4 of your awards.
It got me so
It's sweeping at the John and Christine Oscars.
It got me so interested in Eurovision. I'm so excited for Eurovision 2021. Yeah.
Birds of Prey is really sweeping today too. Even though they're not going to be number 1, they've swept. Yeah. Okay, number 1.
Before we get to number 1, we forgot one award. It's the Avengers Endgame Award.
There is no Avengers Endgame.
No. This year, because it was such a weird year, the Avengers Endgame Award goes to the Hamilton Award. And the Hamilton Award goes to Hamilton for being Hamilton. I've never seen Hamilton. It was put on Disney Plus. It was not really a movie, but it was shot in a movie way, but it's on stage. Yeah. It's not really a movie.
I'm glad you're actually giving this award.
So that's why I'm giving the Hamilton Award to Hamilton. I really enjoyed it.
Yes, me too.
The guy that played Jefferson is my favorite. He's amazing.
He's fantastic. David Diggs.
Great film, musical.
That's why I didn't get it on here, because it didn't feel like a film.
It was weird. That's why it gets the Hamilton Award.
It's very theatrical.
That's why it gets the Avengers Endgame Award for the Hamilton Award. For being
what
Hamilton.
A wonderful experience it was. Biggest award of the night. Number one. The best movie of 2020.
Favorite movie of 2020.
John's favorite movie of 2020. And I'm going to guess that it's Soul.
Let's see. You gotta read it.
Stop.
That's my favorite movie.
Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, the Snyder Cut. This is so stupid.
What are you talking about?
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. There is no Snyder Cut of
not
Paul
that you
Blart
know
2
of.
Mall Cop 2.
I did watch Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 this year. I watched it 2 times in one day.
What a waste of our time.
No, that movie was a waste of our time. That joke was not.
What was your actual favorite movie? Was it Soul?
Yes. My favorite movie was Soul.
I got it right.
I don't even know if I can express what this movie meant to me. I don't even know if I want to because it's just very personal.
John is too a jazz musician.
Well, it's more.
Jazz musician.
It's more than that. It's just this movie felt like it was made for me. It just meant a lot. What it had to say, what the main character was going through. It's not. I expected the movie to be good. I expected to like it. I didn't expect for it to have that effect on me and to be about what it was about. So I don't even know if I want to say more.
That's fine.
But
I
it's
can say a little bit if you want me to. It was fascinating how adult the themes were in this movie. It deals a lot with death, and a lot of young kids are going to see it and be like, "Oh my god!" Like I saw it and I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, it is much more adult, more older themes.
It's life themes that hit you as you become an adult, and even through adulthood, there are things that hit you at different stages of your life when you're at turning points, and it really hit home in that way. I really loved the message at the end. There were really great different analogies and metaphors and just ways that they visually showed things like being in the zone as an artist. I really loved that, and it really struck in different ways with me. And the lost souls, that idea and how you become a lost soul. The lead character is a middle-aged man.
Yeah.
You know, like that's so unlike a Pixar film. And the runner-up character, the other lead was an unborn soul that was Tina Fey. Like it was a middle-aged white woman.
I didn't recognize that was Tina Fey until the credits.
Yeah, I recognized her voice, but I couldn't place her.
But Graham Norton was good in it as like the hippie guy.
I wanted like one more scene.
I liked how it ended. And shout out to the music again, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross killing it.
It was very existential for a Pixar film.
And John Batiste. I think he did all the jazz music in it.
Okay, my number one. Do you know what
Number
it's gonna
one.
be?
I don't. Let's see what it is. Number one. Christine's favorite, best movie. Is it Paul Blart? Whoa! Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Onward.
Onward.
2 Pixar movies.
Yeah. Oh wow.
A
I didn't
Pixar
realize
movie for
Onward
each
was
of us.
Pixar. I
Yeah.
forgot. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Onward was my favorite. Onward was like the first movie we got to watch that was supposed to be in theaters that they put on streaming. And we had like a nice, oh my gosh, we're gonna watch our movie and then on the couch. This movie made me so emotional. I love a sibling story. I love a family sibling journey, and there was a lot of D&D stuff thrown in there that was really fun. It was so funny. It was so moving. I had a grand old time. I cried so much. I can't wait to watch it again. Tom Holland and Chris Pratt had great chemistry together as brothers. I love their mom.
It was Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I think,
really?
as the mom. Yeah.
Oh my god, she
They're
was
great.
great. I love that like random manticore lady.
Yeah.
And also their kind of stepdad character was really great. He was like a
police officer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't watched it yet. Check it out. You might have missed it because it was in theaters right when everything shut down.
Great year for Pixar.
Was a great year for Pixar. I think a lot of people had their doubts about Onward, and I loved it. Obviously, it's my number one movie of 2020. Those were our top 5 movies of 2020.
That's it.
We'd love to hear what yours were. They matched up with ours. Your thoughts on any of the movies that we threw out there.
How excited you are for the Snyder Cut to finally be coming.
Oh my god.
I don't care at all, but I love the memes.
Can't believe that's a real thing that came back around. We're about to film our top 5 worst movies of the year, so look for that link in the description or just look for it on my channel sometime soon. My name's Christine.
I'm John.
I am AddictsTeammate on Twitter and Instagram. My new book, Better Together, is coming out this year, 6/1/2021, so I'm going to pre-order that. Link's in the description. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.